So, in terms of the websites, so on a website, we have what we call conversions. Conversions are actions on a website that can be categorized into either macro or micro. So macro is a big step. So sometimes, like when you're watching the news, they'll talk about the macro economy. They're talking about the macro economy, and they mean the economy of the country or the world. When they talk about micro economies, they might be talking about your local shopping center or your local town or whatever it might be. So that's the difference, micro and macro. Similarly, on a website, if someone makes a really big step and it's really important, that would be classed as a macro conversion. The smaller ones are more micro conversions. Hopefully that's not too confusing, but we'll try to explain it. So a macro conversion, you can see here, it says macro would be a purchase. So if someone goes on your website, buys something, yes, definitely great. We want them to do that. That would be a macro conversion. Maybe we want them to download a PDF or a cheat sheet in exchange for some information. So they'll fill out a form, we'll grab the data, and then we'll give them we'll send them the PDF. That's a great one as well. So we can send someone can download a PDF or something, and that would be classed as a macro conversion. Once again, related to downloading, completing a form, that would be a macro conversion. So maybe they're attending a course or something, they could fill out a form. Once again, sign up to a webinar. Remember when we talked about landing pages, we wanted people to do that. That was the objective. So that would be classed as a macro conversion. So even though it's not a sale, someone's not actually buying something, but in terms of the purpose of that particular web page or that particular landing page, we wanted them to sign up and they did that. And then sometimes if someone's placing a call and wanting to maybe book something in, or maybe they're trying to booking appointment and they place a call, that would be classed as a macro conversion. Once again, this is business specific, but you can see generally those would be good examples of macro conversions. Moving on to micro conversions, these are now not as significant as a macro, but as it says there, they're a small step. So maybe on the way to becoming a customer or maybe implementing one of those macro conversions. So an example of a micro conversion is sign up to a newsletter. Sometimes you have like an email pop-up, like an exit pop-up or something like that, where it pops up on you on the website you're looking at and you fill it out and they'll send you something via email. So that would be like sign up for a newsletter, click a call to action button. So not all call to action buttons are buy, like where people are buying. So in the last one we just saw here, start building for free is a call to action button. So if they clicked on that, that would be classed as a micro conversion only if they didn't finish the process. So if they clicked on that and completed the process and ended up starting building for free, so maybe they signed up to the free to build their website for free or to build their landing page for free, that was the aim. If they complete it, that would be a macro. But if they're just clicking on it and didn't go on to complete it, that would be a micro conversion. Why that's important is because if you've got something clear on your website that you want the customers to do, then and they click on it, but they don't end up completing it, that gives you a clue. It means that people want it, but when they went to that destination page, resulting from the clicking the button, they didn't quite understand it or they didn't quite make the decision. Once again, going back to the customer's always right. A lot of people misunderstand the customer's always right. And what we mean by customer's always right is that the decisions they take are the right ones. So if they don't click on a particular button, that's down to you. It's not the customer's fault. Either it was the wrong color, it wasn't clear, or the customer didn't understand something, but that's the customer. The customer is right. Maybe they've clicked on the share button. Maybe they've added to cart. Maybe you argue added to cart can be a bit of a macro conversion, but a page view. So all these, you can see the micro conversions. They're not quite sales, are they? Or they're not quite big conversions. They're not. I mean, they're great to have. It shows that there is activity happening on the website, but you can see the macro conversions is where you want to be, and they're the ones that are going to make a difference. So here's the website of it's a nice example of the Tesla website. So you can see this one here is the UK version of their website. So I've highlighted here the macro and the micro conversions just to give you a real life idea of what we're talking about. So here you can see, I mean, at first glance, you might think, well, there's only two conversions here, them two. But let's have a look. So first of all, learn more. So if someone clicks on there, they want to know more about it. Not quite a macro conversion, but it's a good step. So we would class that as a micro conversion. Another micro conversion, explore the inventory. So exploring the inventory, they want to have a look, little bit more of a look, see what you have available. So that would be a good one. So micro conversion. This one here on the right hand side, a custom order. Now we're talking serious stuff. If someone's clicking on custom order, they are really serious. And then finally, you've also got book a test drive. So you can see here, if they're clicking on that and they're converting, you can see that that would be a macro conversion. So you can see now if someone's going to learn more and checking the inventory, it's okay. But the ones that we're going for is those macro conversions. Those micro conversions may lead up to a macro conversion. Okay, so if someone clicked on the lead more, if someone clicked on learn more, went to the learn more page and thought, wow, I really like Tesla. I really love what they're doing. I didn't realize the range was so big. And or so yeah, didn't realize how good the range was. I'm going to go for a test drive. And then on that page as well, where you've clicked on learn more, there will also be a test drive option. So you'll see these buttons dotted around different web pages on different call to action buttons, and the aim is to get you to the macro conversion. But the aim of the web page or the website is to assist you in that, to answer your questions. So basically, that you're getting to a point to basically make that conversion and basically make that purchase. Where you can see in other examples of web pages, once again, the micro and the macro can be quite different. So, for example, booking a test drive here, that's a macro conversion because if someone's coming in to book a test drive, that would be a really, really good thing to do. But once again, it depends on the product, depends on the service that you're selling and the impact it will have. But what I want you to do, once again, is get into that mindset of understanding the different types of conversions and what you're trying to achieve from that particular web page.